I think we are okay. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Kṛṣṇa Arpanamastu. Okay. Let me show the slides. So this is lecture 169, Bhagavad Gītā 169. So Prashant ji kindly did some slides for me yesterday. Many of the slides, Prashant ji helped me put the original Bhāṣyas into these slides. Thank you very much. All of you should thank him because that will help me improve the lectures. I can focus more on the lectures rather than preparing the PPTs. Similarly, we have one more volunteer who is helping us for the Upanishad classes, Srini Gopalan, I think. Srini Rajagopal. So thanks, Swamin. So it's a lot of help for us. So tomorrow we'll have the Upanishad class. Today we'll go with the Bhagavad Gītā class. Let me show the slideshow. Can you hear me and can you see the slides?
Yes.
Good. All right. So in the prior shloka, that is in 2.23, just a second. Yeah, something happened there. Hold on. In the prior shloka, the concepts covered were Jīva is the reflection, not like in the Advaitic sense. Jīva is the reflection of Paramātmā or Hari or the absolute Paramātmā. Jagat Srishti and other actions of Ishvara, that is creation, destruction, maintenance, and all these actions of Ishvara are not imaginary, they are real. The main purpose of the Vedas is to extol the gunas of Hari. So what is the purpose of Vedas? Just to shower praises on the most important Ishvara, Hari. Moksha or release from this bondage is possible only through Viṣṇu-prasāda or Hari-prasāda. Prasāda means grace. Only through the grace of Lord one can get moksha. And how do you get the grace of Lord? To know the unique features, Utkarsha Jnana, the wonderful divine attributes of the Lord being so unique and different. Knowing the uniqueness, the person will get Viṣṇu-prasāda. That is, Viṣṇu will be very happy to know that this person is so uniquely trying the best to know him, and he will come and help. Viṣṇu sarvottamatva. Then the concept of Hari as the highest among anybody in this world, right? Anybody in this universe. Devottama, that is, he is Viṣṇu is Devottama. He is the highest among all the gods, all the deities. And the attributes of Hari are true, Satya. They are not untrue, they are not imaginary. So these are the issues which were raised earlier. They explained earlier. Now we start the verse acchedyoyam, adāhyoyam, akledyo, ashoshyayevacham, nityaha, sarva-gataḥ, sthānuho, achaloyam, sanātana. So we'll go through each of these words and explain the Bhāṣya and Gītā Tātparya. Now it is actually Gītā Tātparya, I think. For the 224 is this one, and 224 verse. So we are only going to go through Gītā Tātparya Shloka. It is not the prior shloka. The same shloka was explained in the last class. It should be prior class. That was explained using the Gītā Bhāṣya of Madhvācārya. Gītā Bhāṣya is one of his commentaries, not one of his commentaries. So Madhvācārya has written two, Gītā Bhāṣya and Gītā Tātparya. Now we'll go to the next 1 second, please. I need just 20 seconds. I need to go down and I forgot something. I need to get something. So give me 30, 40 seconds. I'll be back. So I am back. So what we just said, the acchedyoyam, adāhyoyam verse, so according to Gītā Tātparya, here he takes a different view. You have to understand that the Gītā Bhāṣya, in Gītā Bhāṣya, he deals with the words slightly differently. Some of the words in the second chapter refers to jīvātma, or the individual self. Some of the words refers to Paramātmā, Hari. Here, he slightly changes the view here and there, and he gives a reason why he does so. Here, acchedyoyam acchedyātvādikam jīvasyapi tat samamityāha acchedyoyam. So the thing is, he takes this acchedya, means that which cannot be cut. That nature is common for individuals as well as Paramātmā. And now he takes the words nityam, sarva-gataḥ, nitya, sarva-gataḥ. Say, what was the verse? The verse was acchedyoyam, adāhyoyam, and all these. These all can refer to they can apply to individual self as well as Paramātmā. Okay, they can do both. Now, nityaha sarva-gataḥ sthānuh achaloyam sanātana. Earlier, he took that as attributes of the jīvātma and explained it in a different way. Now he takes these as attributes of Paramātmā, and that can be interpreted. Sanskrit is flexible, and Madhvācārya goes and does a lot of research on other Puranas and other things where there are similar sentences. So he brings those here and explains this Nitya sarva-gataḥ achaloyam sanātana, the second line, as referring to Paramātmā. How does he do that? Let's see. Nityam sarva-gate stitaha anuscha. So Nitya sarva-gataḥ stanuho, the way he takes it as Nityam, that is, he is Nityam sarva-gate. So the thing is eternally omnipresent. So all of these are taken with respect to Paramātmā, eternally omnipresent. In that eternally omnipresent Hari, Jīva or individual soul is there. Anushchayam. And this Jīva is Anu also. That is, it is also atomic, minute, atomic in nature. So, Nitya sarva-gataḥ sthano Nityam. One second, let me go back to the verse again. Nityam sarva-gataḥ sthano achaloyam sanātana. Nityaha. So it's not Nityam, it is Nityaha, right? Nityaha. Oh, okay. So the way he takes it is Nitya sarva-gataḥ anuhu. He doesn't take it as sthanu. Sthanu means that which is motionless. Still, he here in this explanation, he takes Nityaha sarva-gataḥ anuhu. See how he breaks it separately. See, some of these Sanskrit gymnastics or all this word analysis may be not so important to some of you. I will tell you why these are important. The reason is, I'll just give you a hint now, but I'll go into details after finishing the explanation here. The hint is the structure of Bhagavad Gītā and the meaning of Bhagavad Gītā is different for each acharya. For example, chapter 2 is taken very differently by these three acharyas. That we have explained long time back, but we will remind you at the end of this lecture quickly. This will be a short lecture, but we'll come to an important point here. Very fundamental, and it could be confusing to many people, but we'll try to reduce the confusion. So, Nityam sarva-gataḥ anuho. So, Jīva is in the sarva-gataḥ. Sarva-gataḥ is he is in the all omnipresent Lord Hari. And Jīva is Anu. Jīva is atomic. But Hari or Paramātmā is omnipresent. Sarvagato Viṣṇuhu tadadhīnatvādikam tatsthvam. This means Viṣṇu is ever present everywhere. Omnipresent. And dependent on this omnipresent entity is all the selves, all the jivas. Tatsthvam, that means it stays within. It is dependent on Viṣṇu. Now, hetutopi tatstatvan nachalati ityachalaha. So the thing is, achaloyam, the next word is achaloyam sanātanaha. So the thing is, even both words are explained very differently. Achaloyam is for any reason, whatever reason, it does not change its dependence. So the dependence never changes. That is achala. So he is taking achala in a non-changing, but in a very different sense. that Jiva's dependency is not changing. Then now comes a different usage here. Sanātanaha. He takes it as sanādana. Sanādana. What is sanādana? Nādena shabdena saha vartate iti sanādana. So that which coexists, which always exists together with nada. Nada is sound, but fundamentally nada is Vedas or the Shruti or the scriptures. So he takes this as Jiva are all the people who are born and they die, like people like us and everybody, they are subject to Vidhi-nisheda. Vidhi-nisheda means they are subject to rules and regulations, do's and don'ts. So that's how he explains sanādana, which is sanātana. This is sort of, it looks like an extension. How can you, break up things and make meanings like this? But he brings in a verse from Viṣṇu-purāna. Nityam sarva-gataḥ Viṣṇau anurjīvo vyavasthitaha na chasya tat adhīratvam hetutopi vichalyate nisheda vidhipatratvat sanātana iti smritaha iti Mahaviṣṇu-purāne. So exactly like the meaning of this verse, the way he does it, he takes up from the Viṣṇu-purāna and does this, gives a different meaning. So sanādana is sanātana, that is subject to do's and don'ts, that is subject to the rules and regulations of the Shrutis. And exact meaning of what we said as Viṣṇu is omnipresent and he is inside the omnipresent Viṣṇu and he is dependent on Viṣṇu. Everything is explained in this verse Mahaviṣṇu-purāna, and he takes it exactly as this is what he is meaning in this verse. So acchedya ityadi. Otherwise, this acchedya verse will be a repetition. That is in the Bhagavad Gītā. Initially, somewhere acchedya was said, and now again this acchedya comes in 24. So there will be repetition. To avoid the repetition, you have to understand a different meaning of the second verse, second mentioning of acchedya. That's how you have to understand. This is the 24. Now, yasmin ayam sthitaha, so object. 1 second. 1 second, please. Just a second. So let me just share again. I'm sorry. Yasmin ayam sthitaha. Yasmin, you can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay. Yasmin ayam sthitaha. So avyakta achintyadi rupaha. Evam jnataha parameshwaraha sarva dukkhanasham karoti iti nanu shochitum arhasi tesham aham samudharta ityadehe. So this verse somehow refers to the next verse actually. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam ichyate. That is the word. For some reason, this Gita Tātparya cites it earlier. So jīvātma is in Paramātmā. Jīva is in Paramātmā. That Paramātmā is avyakta acintya. So the Paramātmā is avyakta means it is not, Paramātmā is not visible. Paramātmā is not, what is that, the word? I'm forgetting. Vyakta is manifest. Avyakta is unmanifest. So avyakta is unmanifest. So Paramātmā is unmanifest. Acintya, not thinkable. So by knowing him this way, Hari will destroy all dukkhas. So by knowing Paramātmā as avyakta and acintya, one will get his grace, and Hari will destroy all his sorrows. Why? It is Tesham Aham Samudharta. This verse is there in the Bhagavad Gītā. Where is it? It is in the 12th chapter, verse 6, 7. Etu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavamina chirat partha maya vaishita chetasam. This is the 6 and 7 verses of the 12th chapter, which says that those who offer all the works, dedicate every action and work to me and meditate on me without anything else in mind, no reservations, no other selfish or other motives. Tesham aham samudhartam. I will take them out of this messy bondage, and I will spiritually, I will spiritually promote them further. That is samudharta. I will protect them. I will make them. I'll make them. What do you call? Improve their spiritual situation in a way. Right? Bhavamina chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. That happens very fast. Na chirat means extremely fast. Mayi aveshita chetasam. Those who meditate on me, that is the that's what I do for them. So the grace is very important. So avyakta and acintya are not taken as jiva gunas. Earlier in his own commentary, the term avyakta, unmanifest and unthinkable, were taken as that referring to the jiva. Later on, he modified and said, no, this refers to the Paramātmā, because this suits Paramātmā better. That's his view. Gita Tātparya, again he says, Natvevaham jatunasam natvam ityubhayorapi prastutatvat. So he says, look at the second chapter, 2:11, the very earlier part of the second chapter, Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha, that is 2:11. So all of us always existed. We will exist in the future. Never there will be a time where we will cease to exist. All these things are seen. When he says we, that means he is mentioning Kṛṣṇa himself and all of us. So the subject matter of chapter 2 is both Kṛṣṇa and all of us. Right? So he takes the whole chapter, the second chapter, or probably the entire Gita, as to referring to both Kṛṣṇa and Jīva here and there. So, Dehinaha, Sharirinaha, Dehiti Visheshatatvacha Jīvasya Tatra Tatra. So, here and there, Dehi means that who has a body. Shariri means that who has a body again. Sharira is same. These are used to refer to Jīva. But sometimes, Avinashi, acchedya, or some other type of words refer to the Paramātmā. Avinashi tu ena sarvamidam anashino aprameyasya namriyate bhutva bhavitana avyayam avinashinam avyayam avyaktoyam acintyoyam avikaryoyam ityadi paramatmanascha. This refers to Paramātmā. So some of the words refer to Paramātmā, some of the words refer to jīvātma. That's how it has been there. Nahi jīvena tatam sarvam. You cannot say ena sarvamidam tatam. So who has spread himself everywhere? He is omnipresent. So that cannot refer to jīvātma. So we have to carefully understand Bhagavad Gītā, second chapter particularly. That's what Madhvācārya says. Nacha mukhyato aprameyoso. So in the true sense, you cannot say he is not understandable. Aprameya means beyond any knowledge. So Jīva is in a way finite. Nacha namriyate. So Jīva does die because the body dies. So you cannot say Jīva is never dying. But the Jīva's body is dying, right? So partly he is dying. Nacha avinashinam nityam iti nityatva riktam avinashitvam tasya. So only Paramātmā, we talked about it earlier, has four types of imperishableness. Four types of imperishableness. We talked about it long time back. Please refer to it there. Jīva has only partial imperishableness. So that was very clear. Nacha avyaktam avikaryatvam cha mukhyam nacha bhutva bhavita vana veti dehasyapi anutpattihi. So Jīva dies means his body or her body is gone and the born again somewhere else. This does not occur to Paramātmā because Paramātma's body does not die. And it is a different divine body. And he only chooses it. Yasmadevam bhutas tasmat sayeva satsvatantra. That is why Paramātmā, Hari, Kṛṣṇa is independent, not any Jīva. See here, you can sort of get the idea of Madhvācārya. He says that don't ever mistake that you are God. He wants to constantly remind us, other than serving Hari, other than worshipping Hari, we have no other business. Don't confuse yourself. Don't get confused by anybody. Never ever think that you are same as Paramātmā. You are always a slave. You are always dependent on Paramātmā. Slave is not the right word. Sorry, it's not the right word. You are dependent on Paramātmā, and Paramātmā will help you. There's a divine the relationship between you and Paramātmā. Tadadhinam anyat sarvam atas sayeva sarva purushartha parapurushartadaha atas tat puja satkarma eva atah tadartam yudhyasva. Here, tadadhinam anyat sarvam. Everything else is dependent on Paramātmā. Ataha sayeva sarva purushartadaha. He is the giver of all benefits, all things to you. Whatever you need will be provided by Paramātmā with appropriate conditions. Ataha tat puja, tat satkarma eva. Doing the right things is the worship of that Lord. Think about it. It's a very important point he's trying to say. all of us have to do the right things. The right things are prescribed in the Shastras. And these right things are only worship of the Lord, because that follows the divine law given by Paramātmā. And everything else is dependent on Paramātmā. Like we are all toys to him. He plays. So doing the right things, as suggested by Paramātmā in the scriptures, is his own worship. Ataha tadartham yudhyasva. Lord Kṛṣṇa told you to fight. Go and fight, because this is not going to cause anything wrong. It is not against the right principles. So this is not a acceptance in the Gita that anybody can kill anybody. That is not what is said here. Arjuna was forced to fight, and for self-defense and defending his own people, whom he was the head of like 5 cities, and all the people in his cities were protected by him. So he had to protect them. So fighting for him was necessary. So just fighting and going and bombing and killing people is not at all supported in Gita. One has to be very careful. People will just quote and bring Bhagavad Gītā in a very bad view to public. They are actually not truly saying what Bhagavad Gītā is intending to express. So jivas cannot kill because they are not independent, cannot be killed because they are nitya or eternal. That is the way he takes it. Anyesham tu antavanteva devaha prakrita dehinascha ato asvatantratvat nahantum tesham samartyam nityatvat nahanyate. That's what it means. Tasmad hanta hata iti manyamano na vijanitaha. So people who think that I killed or I got killed or something, all these things, or people got killed, all these are erroneous views. Kintu because yasmad ayameva parameshwaraha sharira viyoga rupenapi nam riyate tat samyoga rupenapi na jayate jīvavat kadapi. Because it is so, this Parameshwara there is no separation of body from Parameshwara, because Parameshwara has a divine body and he does not die like us and he is not born like us, and that is why he is independent. Sarvasya hanta, he is the real killer of people. One second. Sayeva swatantratvat sarvasya hanta jivastu tena sharire hanyamane swayam na hanyate it etavat. So the thing is, Jiva's sharira, or the body, can be separated out. And so in that sense, Jiva is said to be dead. Atha evam अतएव अविनाशित्वादेः स्वातंत्र्यात् सर्वकर्तारं परमात्मानं यो वेदा. So the thing is, all स्वातंत्र्यात् सर्वकर्तारं, all actions are somehow originally started and done by Paramatma himself. He is independent and all actions are happening by him only. No, if you know this, everything is by being controlled and all actions are happening only due to Paramatma, how can such a person kill or get killed? Vasasoho ajara, the body is like clothes. The clothes get toiled, soiled, clothes get worn out. So similarly, the bodies have old age and dependency. Swatantriya darshanat sarvatra aswatantram jnatavyam. In every way, Jiva is dependent. See, the thing is, we age. We have no freedom to get out of this body. We have so many restrictions. In every way, we are dependent. So for Ishvara, there is absolutely no restrictions nothing can cut or hurt him, and he is absolutely independent. See, I think Madhvācārya is taking extra efforts to remind us that we are different from Kṛṣṇa, and no way we should mistake us to be him. Nainam chindantiti chedanadya bhavaha sakshadevam darshetum shakyate swadehasya iti vartamana apadeshaha chedanadikam tu ishvaro mohaya mrushaiva darshayati. Even in a war, right? See, many people got hurt in the Mahabharata war, the Kurukshetra war. So even great people like Bhishma was pierced by hundreds of arrows, and he got hurt. So Chedana means getting hurt, getting cut. Even Kṛṣṇa had to suffer some, hurt due to Chedana, that is, arrows piercing him and things like that. But that is only an act, mrsha, that is just appearance, drama. That is not true. Because he is playing the game with us. He is acting as if he got hurt or somebody stuck an arrow somewhere, something like that. But truly, Kṛṣṇa is never hurt. That is only for making it dramatic. That's all. Now, here is a question. There is significant differences of approach between three acharyas. In fact, I have to say this difference is not just restricted to Śaṅkarācārya, Rāmānujācārya, and Madhvācārya. Even ISKCON Prabhupada follows partially Rāmānujācārya and Madhvācārya, partially. But the second, because we are talking about second chapter, can anyone say what is the focus of second chapter according to these three acharyas? Anyone? Everyone is quiet today. Tired, I think.
It's very difficult to distinguish who's right and who's not right.
It's not the question of who is right, who is not right, but you have to understand what is their focus. That is, what second chapter according to Śaṅkara is what? What does the second chapter signify for Madhvācārya? And what does it signify for Rāmānujācārya? So this is what we are trying to understand.
All of them try to understand Brahman in their own way, the relationship between Jīva and Brahman.
That is true. That is true. See, I was trying to mention something different. Maybe I will tell you what it is. See, both for Śaṅkarācārya and Madhvācārya, second chapter is the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gītā. Entire Bhagavad Gītā is summarized within just second chapter according to Śaṅkarācārya and Madhvācārya. And that is not true for Rāmānujācārya. Let's try to discuss this a little bit further. Look at how Madhvācārya is trying to fit in the attributes of jivas, which are all of us bound people, and the attributes of Hari, the Lord, in one chapter. The words in one chapter, there are only like 70 or something Ślokas, 70 verses. He pushes the meaning of Jīva, Paramātmā together, separate them out. A lot of things he does for the second chapter, right? Because according to him, both Jīva and Paramātmā are addressed in the second chapter. Whereas for Śaṅkarācārya, he predominantly focuses on one Atman. There is no other selves. There's only one Atman. So, and he somehow summarizes everything to focus on one Atman in the second chapter. Rāmānujācārya says, no. Rāmānujācārya says, look, the first 6 chapters are predominantly, here and there may be a mention of Paramātmā, but the first 6 chapters are predominantly addressing jīvātmas, all of us here. Then only the seventh chapter onwards, predominantly it shifts gear to Paramātmā, Hari, and things like that. So this is how it is. What is the problem? If Madhvācārya says, oh, this refers to acchedya, here it refers to Jīva, here it refers to Paramātmā, so there are so many, if there are so many switches, right? A Viṣiṣṭādvaiti could argue, why is Madhvācārya changing so much? Because that doesn't seem logical, because this is a samvada shastra. Samvada means this is a conversation between Arjuna and Kṛṣṇa. It has to occur in a very progressive way. The previous verse has to connect to the next verse, to the next verse, to the next verse. So it cannot be a mixture of, oh, here it is Jīva, part of the verse is jīvātma, part of the verse is Paramātmā. All these kind of things, if it comes, Arjuna will get confused. First of all, he himself openly says he is confused. He is falling and he is perspiring. He is in a war. He said that I can't kill millions of people, and we are doing the wrong things. I am not going further with this war at all. So if in such a bad situation, confused state, if Kṛṣṇa uses complex terminology, one referring to Jīva, one referring to Paramātmā, how will Arjuna understand? So this would be an attack from the Viṣiṣṭādvaita perspective to Madhvācārya, or even from an Advaita perspective to Madhvācārya. Right? Do you agree? Do you understand? Any thoughts? Do you understand what I said? You're fairly quiet, very confused. You got to be honest and tell me, I am confused. I don't understand. This is horrible. Whatever you want to say. Are you hearing me?
I can understand what you are telling.
You can understand. Okay.
Yes, clearly.
And so, do you think that the comments against or the attack against Madhvācārya's view of mixing Jīva Paramātmā issues in second chapter valid or not?
It is his type of explaining. He has seen that truth like that only.
Okay. So, what it is, in short, Bhagavad Gītā is not easy. Everybody thinks that Bhagavad Gītā is easy. In fact, I have to remember my Guru, Dr. N.S. Anantarangacharya's comments on Bhagavad Gītā. He says, Kṛṣṇa is very impartial person, you know. He says, so why is he impartial? We ask. He says, Kṛṣṇa gives the same level of difficulty to all the commentators of Bhagavad Gītā. So he doesn't discriminate between Advaita, Advaita, Viṣiṣṭādvaita, anything like that. He gives the same level of difficulty for all these acharyas. So it is true. So in a way, Madhvācārya making it complex could be a problem from the other acharyas' views. But what would Madhvācārya answer this? Oh, you're making it too complicated. Now he brings up a different answer. Look, you didn't understand. Arjuna is not a low-level aspirant like you. Arjuna is a very advanced level aspirant. Why? He first of all did tapas on Pashupati, Shiva, and got the bones to get the Pashupatastra before the war. So he did penance to Shiva. And how many people can do penance to Shiva and get value out of, get bones? That's one thing. Second thing is, he is Nara-Rishi, right? Nara-Rishi. Nara and Narayana are both rishis. So this conversation is not between two dullheads. It is Lord Kṛṣṇa and a great rishi, Nara. So for him, all this complexity is easily understood. The problem is actually with you, mister. You may not understand. That is why we have to study Puranas, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and everything to make meaning out of Bhagavad Gītā. Bhagavad Gītā is not simple. But this is not acceptable to Rāmānujācārya. And Rāmānujācārya says, yes, we have to refer to different shlokas, but we should not forget that this is a conversation between two close friends. And Arjuna thinks that he is a friend for a long time till he sees the Vishvarupa. Arjuna doesn't even realize that he is talking to God. He thinks that he is talking to a friend. So, if you look at it from the conversational perspective, Rāmānujācārya's view of slowly developing the subject seems justified. If you take it, from the purely couple of Upanishads and only Aham Brahmasmi, that too few Mahavakya perspective, and Śaṅkarācārya develops everything using the Mahavakyas, and say all of Bhagavad Gītā can be derived using the main Vakya, say you are Brahman, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, everything is Brahman. These are some few statements in the Upanishads. And using that, I will make sense out of the entire Bhagavad Gītā, he says. So, the approaches are different. People like different approaches. We are not trying to confuse you with all these approaches. We are trying to justify that these acharyas had different reasons to make different meanings out of Bhagavad Gītā, and they are all justified. I hope I have not confused you. Any questions? Any concerns? You can text me if you cannot talk. I'll check the text also, chat box.
The differences between these three acharyas are good to understand, but a little bit tough for the first time. It takes some time to digest everything.
See, honestly, even though I'm trying to help out and working on Bhagavad Gītā for so long, some people even laugh at me when I say that I have finished 167 lectures and I haven't even covered few chapters of the first portion of Bhagavad Gītā. People think that I'm stupid. But really speaking, I'm trying to simplify. That is why I gave you an overview of the Bhagavad Gītā in 57 or so lectures. I just gave you the overview from lecture 78 onwards, about 50 lectures. I gave you the summary of the entire Śaṅkara Bhāṣya, Rāmānuja Bhāṣya, and Madhva Bhāṣya. I already summarized. So what it is you have to constantly look back, look at the previous lectures, maybe even slides. I used to send slides out. I'm becoming too overloaded. I'm not able to summarize and send the slides out to you. One day I will sit down and publish the slides. The earlier slides were published. Actually, understanding it from three different perspectives gives you a better idea of how these acharyas thought about it. Okay, and for people who are very, very all beginners, most beginners, and also people who are not very logical, more faith-oriented and more community-oriented, they will only like what their community people and their acharyas have told, and they will think that all the other views are wrong, and why are we even bothering to know about them? So many things can occur. I hope at the end you will all benefit rather than get hurt or get confused by all these things. Any more questions?
What I feel in one point is Bhagavad Gītā actually happened very, very, very before, long before. And even these acharyas came afterwards.
True.
And according to the text, they according to the circumstances prevailing, social atmosphere, everything, they understood, because they are also very knowledgeable. They understood in their way.
True.
And they told the people who came to listen to them. Now,
Yes.
because all the three views are there for us, told by Śaṅkarācārya, Rāmānujācārya, and then Viṣiṣṭādvaita, Rāmānujācārya, Madhvācārya. Now, comparing all this, we may get confused. but we should think that it is the standpoint of view of these three acharyas. The text holds good. You can make Anmaya Gita can be made understood in that way. It is not impossible. That one thing we have to understand. But
Sure.
we feel very difficulty because all the three are before us. We are little confused, maybe. And we should think that it is the mata of all these three acharyas.
Yes. True. This is the opinion. Okay, I will have a short class today. I am a little tired today. So we'll take up in the next class the rest of the verses of second chapter.
Just
Unless
one thing.
you have any questions. Unless you have any other questions.
Just one thing, not directly related to the Gita commentary, but just one thing, because all these three acharyas, those have been great during their times, and even now they have been revered by everybody. But why is it so that people think that these three acharyas vehemently put forward their viewpoints? Is it really true? Because the way the commentaries have been written are at a very high level, and they don't seem to oppose each other, but they seem to be proving a point for their particular view, rather than saying that
You see, that's true, but they do oppose each other, right? The Mayavada, see, the Dvaita people will completely, attack the Mayavada, and Nirguna Brahmavada they attack, right? So the only two differences, to be honest with you, good that you brought this question. There's a lot of commonality between Śaṅkarācārya, Rāmānujācārya, Madhvācārya. A lot of commonality. The only difference is Śaṅkarācārya sticks to Nirguna Brahmavada. Finally, for Śaṅkarācārya, Brahman is attributeless. That is totally non-acceptable to both other acharyas. In fact, several other acharyas. And universe is due to Maya or illusory, according to Śaṅkarācārya. That is not acceptable to, it's a real creation. It's a toy of the Lord. It's real. So, even though Śaṅkarācārya explains it in different ways, these two differences stick out. And that's what confuses. So you cannot, they have definitely expressed their opinions. In their opinions, they differ slightly, but 70, 80%, 90% is common.
okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Kṛṣṇa Arpanastu.
Thank you, Kṛṣṇa.
Namaskaras. Thank you.
Namaskar.